How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is William, July 23rd, 2025. How y'all doing this morning? Listen, I just wanted to just touch base with y'all about my son here for a minute. The one that I showed y'all on the last video. And the reason why I did that, y'all, is to show y'all that how good that my son arm was before his mama took the liberty in having a surgery that he didn't need. So let me just tell y'all this. First of all, she was to blame for him even being like that, because the doctor said in the beginning that he was a big baby and that she ran a risk of him getting stuck or something or getting hurt by trying to have him. She didn't tell me that. You know, I didn't find out until we had a lawsuit later on. We were trying to get a lawsuit, and the hospital replied, and the doctor replied, and the lawsuit said she had the opportunity, was given the opportunity to having a C-section rather than have him natural. So she tried to have him natural, and YJ got stuck in her, and the doctor had to do some pulling and tugging to get him out. And in the process of doing that, he pulled his arm out, a socket. Pulled his nerves, or whatever you want to call it at the time of birth, other way where he couldn't move his arm. Okay, they wanted to do a surgery on him then. They said it's best to do the surgery now while he's a baby, so his nerve could start repairing itself. So I was against it, y'all. I was like, I seen how other kids, they lost all of their mobility in their arm. So I told the doctor, I said, Doc, I'm not excited about this surgery right now. I want to see how my son do before we can take a next step in surgery. And the doc agreed with me. He said, look, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll wait till he get a year old. And once he turn a year old, we're going to give him an examination to see what his progress is with his arm. And it was so amazing, y'all. Man, even his mama was amazing. It was so amazing when they gave him that exam at 1 year old, and he could raise his arm up, and he had the good mobility in his arm. It wasn't exactly like his other arm, but he had the mobility to move it, do anything he wanted to do with it. Only thing that I seen that he couldn't do with it was raise it all the way up like his other hand. That's the only thing he couldn't do. But he could raise it up over his head like this, but he couldn't stretch it out like that all the way up. You see what I'm doing, y'all? That's the only thing that he couldn't do. But he could raise it up like this, and he had all the mobility in it. So then the doctor said, you know what? This is amazing. He said, but your son don't need this surgery, so we're not going to proceed with no surgery. He passed all our tests, and he did. Flying colors. But let me tell you something. I'm telling y'all that to tell you this. Sophia Crawford, which was the judge in the matter, she knew that Michelle had assaulted me. She knew that Michelle had assaulted me at the DSS. She knew that Michelle was found guilty of assaulting me. But yet, she stripped me of my rights to my own kids. Stripped me from having any say-so. Stripped me for everything. It gave all the rights to Michelle to do whatever she wanted to do with my kids. And that was one of the things that she did. As soon as she had the right to do anything she wanted to do with my kids, she went and had my YJ surgery. She went to some other doctors and had him to undergo that surgery. And in the results of it, he lost the mobility in his arm, which the doctors in the beginning had said that. So it wasn't even a guarantee that he would have any mobility if they did that surgery. That was the reason why I declined that surgery when he was a baby, because they said it was a higher risk for him not to have mobility in his arm than it was for him to have mobility. And that was the reason why I declined on the surgery. And he came through. My son came through. YJ, that's a strong son of mine. He came through that surgery. But he came through. Only to be later from his mother to undergo a surgery that would paralyze his arm from being able to have any use to be mobility. And that's what happened. See, y'all, let me tell you something. Children, my children ain't nothing but a meal ticket to that woman. That's all it is. It ain't love, because she don't love now one of my children. It's a meal ticket, because a mother, just like a hen, a mother defends her children at all costs. She knew what the doctor had said about that surgery. She knew that because the doctor sat down and talked to the both of us about our son not needing that surgery. Duke, right on Chapel Hill up there, North Carolina. Doctor sat down with him and took him through all those tests, and he passed every single test that they put him through. Every single one of them. Gripping stuff, picking stuff up, holding his own arm up. He passed every single test that they gave him, and the doctor passed him with flying colors and said he did not need that surgery. Only to be put in front of Sophia Cross, and Sophia Crawford, Judge Sophia Cross, stripped my rights to my kids in March of 2019. And she had that surgery the same year after Sophia Cross stripped me my rights to my children. She had that surgery. She had my son to undergo that surgery by another doctor, and he lost his mobility. So it hurts me. I'll let y'all see, cause that when I pull that picture on my Facebook, it hurt me to see my son. You know how good he was before he had a surgery, and then after he had that surgery. You know, see, Sophia Crawford made me helpless to to defend for my children, to make sure they have a safe and upright bringing. You know, she took that much. She made me helpless to not be able to do nothing with my kids whatsoever. They had no say so. Couldn't do nothing. And Michelle, she did a lot of wicked junk. You know, that sheriff department, they're all going down, y'all. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you from my mouth. To everybody that had a play in hurting my family, taking my rights from me. And Sophia Crawford, the head of the game, and along with her constituents that had her to do it. See, they didn't follow her. They had her to do what she done to me. And the results of it so far, my kids running around on drugs. They ain't got no business. Riddling ain't got no business on it. They won't own none of that junk when they was with me, y'all. None of it. Now they on drugs, taking medicine every day. YJ is on. YJ don't have no mobility in his arm, and all because of his mama on love. You know, a woman, after a doctor tell you that your son don't need a surgery, why would you go get a surgery? You know, she made him disabled in order to get money for him, in order to get a check for him. She made him disabled. That's why Sophia called that judge. She gonna suffer for the junk that she did to me. Because number one, y'all, let me put it to you straight and clear. She didn't have no reason to take my rights away from me concerning my kid, but she had every reason to take Michelle's rights from her and give me 100% rights to my kid. Because if Michelle would have been anywhere else, Florida, anywhere, and the video came where she assaulted me and our kid, they would have thrown Michelle in a psych ward, and they would have thrown her butt in jail, and they would have ordered me, don't ever let that woman come around those kids. That's what would have happened to Michelle in Florida. But see, since the sheriff department don't like me, and they do anything to get at me, DSS don't like me, they do anything to get at me through my kids or through anybody that want to go against me, that's what they did. And they used Judge Sophia Crawford to capitalize on what they was after and what they achieved. And in the balance of it, my son is hurt for life. You understand me, y'all? In the balance, that DSS, that Krista Foster up there, that mean devilish woman up there, she was a part of it too. Hid my daughter from me. And see, let me tell you something. Let me say something to my daughter. She's 11 years old now, about to be 12 years old. Tell you something, honey. You old enough, Purdy, you old enough to remember your mama assaulted me. She did it right in front of you. And you old enough to remember that. You wasn't no two. Now, YJ, Baby J don't know and remember, but you, because you was about 5 years old, so you remember what your mama did to me. You saw it firsthand. You remember exactly what you will never ever forget how your mama assaulted me right in front of you. You will never forget that because you saw it and you was there. And you can remember that, and I know you can. So, as y'all grow, you give the wickedness that have befall y'all to the ones around that Richmond County, that sheriff department with Goodrich as the head. Before him was Clemens the head. And then this DSS, Social Services, the judges, the district attorney, Resonder, they all responsible for the hell that's coming upon y'all through them and through their wickedness. See, they won't wish this on their own kids, but they did it to mine. And I want y'all, as y'all grow, I want y'all to understand who really hurt y'all. I want y'all to get that, and I want y'all to understand that. And see, that's the reason why I posted that video of my son, because when I was going through my Facebook looking at pictures, and it jumped, I said, look at my son. Look how good he using his arm. Just look at him. See, my children to this wicked woman ain't nothing but a meal ticket. All of my kids, including the other two bastard kids that she had outside of the marriage, it's a meal ticket to her. That's all. It ain't no love. It ain't no love. See, now I love my kids because I would have never saw, after the doctor told me that my kid didn't need that surgery, I would have never had no other doctor to put him under that knife, to mess him up, mess his nerves up where he didn't have no mobility. And I'm his daddy. I would have never, ever done that. Never. My other two kids never been on no kind of medication or nothing, but now they on medication. See, that's the evilness of this woman. You know, that's the evilness of this woman. But it's coming down the ladder. And it's coming now. And it's already coming. That hurt me so bad to see that my child done went from mobility to immobility with his own. That you think that don't hurt me? Yes, sir. That's my blood. That's my blood. My 3 kids by her is my blood. But they suffering at the likes of their mama, and the likes of the judge, the likes of that sheriff department, and the likes of that DSS up there, Child Protective Service, and DSS, because they was giving. But Michelle hollered domestic violence, and she was the one that saw me. So tell me how they helped her so much, because that's what they want to do. See, always remember something. People come in to hurt you for something that you ain't even done, but they make it like you done it when you ain't did nothing. And they hurt you because you know what? Them evil bastards stand behind one another. Them evil devil bastards. And they aim to hurt good people. That's what they do. And you know what? And it went forth just like in the Bible. It went forth that you hurt me. But God said what? Woe unto the one that done it. Every one of you up there, all you judges up there in that courthouse. You know, and let me just say this to Christopher Rue, the judge Christopher Rue. I thought highly of you, Christopher Rue. You know what? Because I thought that you were one of the best judges up there until I got in court with you in January 25, and you got up in that on that stand, and you on that bench, and you said you was you had accused yourself because you was at conflict with me. You ain't never been at conflict with me, but yet you signed documents for the DSS against me. When you know. You didn't just find, if you gonna make yourself a conflict against me, you didn't just make yourself a conflict to me when up there in that DSS. See, you did all the signing for DSS, but you ain't do nothing for me to hear the case. So you made yourself biased. But at the same time you made yourself biased, you still signed those papers for DSS. And I thought highly of you. But now you just like the rest of them. You're a wicked judge yourself. That's right. And it's going to come upon you that, you know, they took my children, my boys, and you signed the paper for them to continue in the DSS cut, the same as the other judge done. And then you didn't want to come in, and never was served in the paper by the sheriff department or the DSS. But then you see me in court, and you say, I ain't going to touch this case. But yet you signed the papers. Woe unto those that hurt you. Woe unto them that falsely hurt you. Woe unto those. I'm going to let y'all get this right here. Woe unto every one of you. Because God said it, and it's going to be done. Woe unto everyone that have pulled their hand against me and hurt me and my family. And like I told y'all in the beginning, you should have went on to marry my family then. Because if you think you're going to escape what y'all did to my family, you're not going to do it. God got you. God got it. I hurt behind it, I cry behind it, but God got it all the way down to the end. You watch, I cried, God gonna make it so I don't cry no more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all laughed at me and mocked me, God gonna make it so y'all gonna be just the opposite. You watch what I tell you. Your evil people coming back to you, every one of you. Even the one think that I don't even know that you done something to me. You gonna get it? God gonna how? God said, I see everything. I see all. I see the evilness of what the people have done to my servant. Watch it now. is coming at you, and I just had to come on reiterate it all over again to let y'all know that it's finna turn up on every one of you concerning what my kids are suffering and what my kids are going through, as well as myself. It was better for a stone to hang about your neck and drown in the deeps of the sea than to hurt one of his little children. Y'all better get that, and you better recognize. And that's all I got to say. Thank y'all for listening in.